My sister played some. My mother played a little bit. But she sang a lot around the house, and both my mother and my father sang in the church choir. One day, I went to the piano in the living room and started playing. So, of course, this was by ear, and the music that I played was an arrangement of the spiritual "It's Me, O Lord, standing in the need of prayer." I was playing away, and my sister ran to my mother and said, "Mama, listen to Matthew playing the piano." She said, "Girl, I thought that was you." And they both hastily made their way to the living room to watch me just playing the piano, my feet dangling, couldn't touch the floor, of course. But I was 4 years old at the time when I first played something at the piano. Maybe the first composition that I composed, I might have been around 6 or 8. It was a little piece called "The Bells." Actually, my sister was about 6 years older than I was, and she had already begun taking piano lessons. So she was my first teacher, guiding me along with a few fundamentals. And very soon she felt a little discouraged in teaching me. She thought I was progressing faster than she was ready to instruct me. I had a cousin who was a little further advanced, who lived close to us, and I started taking lessons from her. But as I developed and made progress, some of the white people of the town, I had already begun playing on the radio station there, maybe when I was around 11. And they encouraged this white teacher who had quite a flourishing studio. Her name was Kate Land, and some people would say, "Kate, you should take Matthew and let him be one of your students, because he seems to be a very talented young man." Miss Kate was concerned about what it might do to her reputation to accept a black student. But in a little while, she agreed to it. She was a very fine Christian woman, and she was a Christian Scientist. So she had a good heart. We didn't have funds really to pay for what the lessons were worth, and she worked out an agreement that we could come perhaps once a week and clean her studio.
This certifies that Matthew Kennedy has completed the 9th grade, as advanced a course as offered to Negro children at present, showing marked ability in all grades. Aside from practical common sense, he has marked musical talent, and it is a tragedy that his poverty makes it impossible to pay for his musical education. His mother, a widow, teaching for the paltry sum of $43 a month for 9 months, is the sole provider. I understand that there is some possibility of the boy getting a scholarship through the generosity of some music lovers.
I think my teacher, the white teacher, knew that Rachmaninoff was about to give a recital in Macon, Georgia. Macon is about 75 miles from Americus. And she thought it would be a wonderful experience for me. My mother had a friend who was a female undertaker. She had inherited it from her husband. My mother and she were friends, and so it was arranged that she and her driver would take my mother and me, and we took along a cousin. We drove that evening to arrive in Macon in time for Rachmaninoff's recital. And certainly I enjoyed it immensely. But the biggest impression, I guess, on me was when he played his famous prelude in C-sharp minor. My teacher had already started me on it, if I'm not mistaken. And I came away from that recital remembering that performance of the prelude in C-sharp minor. The audience it looked as if they were waiting for that piece. That was a very, very popular piece at the time. And, so I really think most aspiring pianists and students of piano during that period wanted to play that particular piece, the Prelude in C-sharp minor of Rachmaninoff. Oh, yes, yes. He got a great ovation at the end of his performance.